Monster Hunter Wilds was a game that had a lot of hype behind it, and initially it launched to major numbers, but in only a couple of months it has tanked in popularity because of all of the performance problems. And while the Access Media and Capcom are now saying that they've put a lot of time into it and the latest patch fixes it up, a lot of people are pressing X to doubt. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, I live stream Monster Hunter Wilds. I was somebody who played it. I thought that it had a lot going for it. Did the gameplay hook me the way that other Monster Hunter games had? No, but I still would have put a lot of time and effort into it if they had updated it with new content, and ultimately they fixed it. And unfortunately, that wasn't a priority for them. They thought that they could release it and make a boatload of money, and then people would just stick around, and that really didn't happen. But initially, it did really well. I mean, the all-time peak 3 months ago was 1.3 million players, almost 1.4, which was crazy, which was solid. But in only 3 months, it has already tanked to 50,000 people. This is one of the largest drop-offs I have ever seen. And for a game like this, you would think that they would have every couple of weeks been updating it, been adding new monsters and new events and just new content in general, and they really hadn't. But a major reason why so many people stopped playing it is because, yes, first of all, right, they played through the story and then they decided they weren't going to touch it until major DLC dropped. But also, the performance problems were a major turnoff for people. I know a lot of individuals, especially in my community here, had bought it thinking that eventually they were going to fix it, and after only a few weeks they'd patch it up, it'd be perfectly fine, and that really didn't happen. And now they're trying to say that, oh my gosh, they have fixed it, it's going to be so good. But a lot of people are pointing out that it's still broken, so this isn't even the truth. This is a Eurogamer article. It says Monster Hunter Wilds patch finally fixes the game's inexcusable performance woes on PC. First of all, it is inexcusable that this game, that was a full-price title, was broken for 3 months. But second of all, this isn't even necessarily true. So it says Capcom has released an update for Wilds which has fixed a shader compilation problem on PC, causing high CPU loads and horrendous performance issues. The Title 2 update, which is out now, alters the game so shader compilation occurs upon the game's initial launch rather than during gameplay. It'll take some time, but players will no longer need to manually delete shader cache files in order to improve the performance. That's good. These performance issues led to Monster Hunter Wilds receiving an overwhelmingly negative rating on Steam, which it had actually gone up to mixed. But now, if we take a look, while the overall reviews are still mixed at 148,000, the recent reviews are back to overwhelmingly negative, which is so sad to see because I want games to come out and I want them to thrive. I want to spend hard-earned money on genuinely great experiences, and Monster Hunter is a big franchise. I've loved a lot of Monster Hunter games. I want Monster Hunter to be doing well, but this just wasn't okay at all whatsoever. And heading on over to X, where I had posted, they had finally allegedly fixed it by saying, gee, I wonder why a lot of people are saying, nope, this isn't the case. The patch fixed nothing, only had new bugs, and didn't fix the performance in-game. No, it does not. The game still runs horribly, and there's a massive bug right now that causes gunner ammo UI to kill the performance even more than the launch. So it reminds me of something like Black Desert Online, where they'll fix one thing, but they'll break 5 others. And I want to give them credit for trying to figure this issue out, but also I can't give them credit because they've just broken it even more. Nope. Not true. It's still so bad. Known issue. We have confirmed that the game may crash when you open the equipment appearance or Palico equipment appearance via the appearance menu in year 10. We are currently working on this issue and will provide further updates when we have them. I had said this when the game initially launched. It needed another half a year at least to cook. They needed to hold it back, they needed to delay it, and they needed to give the developers more time, because when you launch a game like this, sure, you might make some money, but ultimately what you're doing is you're just damaging your reputation. This game released in February, guys. This should have been fixed 2 days after release, never mind 3 months later. And another awful part of the story is the Access Media saying they finally fixed the game's inexcusable performance woes, and this is so good, this is so fantastic. Sure, the game might run better in some instances, but also the performance problems across the board were not fixed. And clearly, judging by the recent reviews being overwhelmingly negative, you can tell that that's just not the case by just taking a quick peek over here. Taking a look at the recently posted, can't even get past the main menu without crashing. I was already HR 100 and in the end game, but some update just basically removed my access to the game. Great job, Capcom. Breaking my heart with this one. I've been at it since 3U, and I feel modern gaming practices are catching up to this franchise. Here's another positive one. This person has 300 hours on record, which is great, but they're saying, looking at it objectively, the game has great new monster designs and awesome fights. The reworked weapons feel better than ever. The locales have cool aesthetics, and even the story got slightly better. But ultimately, I find it sad that we keep focusing on negativity and encouraging toxic behavior while ignoring all positive aspects. Yeah, well, when you can't play the game, it's kind of hard to look past, in my opinion. No. Somehow the game became even worse after the title update. And this is someone with 200 hours on record, 269 hours on record. These are not just toxic gamers who are not giving this a chance. These are people who are putting a lot of time into it, just wanting it to be good. And that's what makes this situation so much worse, is the fact that so many people wanted it to come out and wanted it to be fantastic and just wanted to enjoy a new Monster Hunter experience. And while some people have been able to have a full experience and they've had the ability to actually play it without facing major bugs or glitches, there are just so many other people who are saying, yeah, it's been basically unplayable for me this entire time. Somehow the game became even worse after the title update too. It stutters and lags far more than even before, which I didn't think was possible. Performance is down the drain with the latest update. I'm writing this while having been stuck in the loading screen for a good 10 plus minutes now. So if you're somebody who is hearing that this game is magically fixed, unfortunately, I would not get too excited, because while some of the issues have been fixed, some of them have not been. It seems like Capcom was just desperate for some good press. They were really hoping that people were going to see the Access Media painting it as this positive picture and return to the game because their player counts are tanking, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen because the game realistically isn't fixed. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.